everyone. We wanted to come on. My name is Stacy. I'm a Norwex consultant in Appleton, Wisconsin, and this is my daughter Charlotte. We're going to do a little Q&A today to find out why we do not want to use plastic to store food in our kitchen. So, Charlotte, do you have a question for us?
Why are plastic containers so bad to store food in?
That's a really good question to start this off. So different studies have shown that there is BPA found in plastics that are linked to diseases. Those diseases, we have a little background noise if you guys can hear that. Sorry about that. We have diseases such as infertility, breast cancer, and prostate cancer. Those are what have been found in humans. That's not good, is it, Charlotte? But even worse, in animal studies, they have found that they gain weight, they have early onset puberty, diabetes, and other hormonal issues. So Charlotte, do you have another question for me?
What is BPA?
What is BPA? It stands for bisphenol A. I think I'm saying that right, but I'm not sure.
Okay.
And it's a chemical found in a lot of plastics like water bottles, tableware, storage containers, kids' toys even, cash register receipts. But the one that really surprised me is if you have a canned good of food, the resin material on the coating the inside of the can is actually made with BPA chemical. I did not know that. And Charlotte, guess what?
What?
They had Americans do a urine test. Do you know what that means?
A pee test?
Yeah. And 90% of us, 9 out of 10 of us, had BPA found in our urine. Yuck. BPA is also known as an endocrine disruptor.
What?
An endocrine disruptor. Basically, that means it messes up all of our hormones. It's not good, right? So, yes, BPA might seem like it's everywhere, like we mentioned above, but there's one thing that we can do to watch out for. So there's a certain plastic, it's actually plastic number 7 to watch out for.
Why 7?
Good question, Charlotte. Number 7 is used to harden different kinds of plastics, and it is a guarantee that there is BPA found in it. The other plastics, there's no guarantee, so you're going to want to read the labels closely to make sure it says BPA free. So, not only do we want to watch out for heating plastics in our microwaves, but we also want to watch out when we put them in the dishwasher. This was new to me. So whenever heat interacts with plastic, that is when the chemical leaches out into the environment, into your food, whatever the plastic is around. So that's why you don't want to put it in your hot dishwasher, and you're better off hand washing those dishes to avoid the BPA heat interaction. So Charlotte, can I reheat plastic trays from let's say you had a frozen dinner, like some TV dinner lasagna or something? Can I reheat that, do you think?
No, they are made for one-time usage.
You're right, but did you know that before we practiced this video?
No, but I did know that they're just really gross and bad for you because you gave up plastic water bottles with me.
You're right, we did give up plastic water bottles a long time ago. So yeah, those plastic trays from frozen dinners are meant for a one-time use only, so never reheat those. Also, Charlotte, what about the containers when we go out to eat? Can we reheat those containers? No? How come?
Because like in the dishwasher, it just releases all the BPA into your food.
Yeah, the BPA releases, and also it'll turn shapes and crinkle up and get melted, and you might actually eat the physical plastic. Yuck, right? So what about containers, like when we go to people's houses and they send you leftovers home in like a Cool Whip container or a butter container? How about those containers? Can we put those in the microwave? We can't. Well, come on.
It's just the same. It's just the same thing as if you had them bought from a store with whipped cream in it.
You're right. It is the same thing. You are just too smart. Okay, So yes, they can definitely release BPA chemicals into our food. They can also melt, like I mentioned earlier. So if you are using a plastic container, you want to make sure absolutely that it is microwave safe. You also want to make sure that you're venting it properly. So you'd have the corner offset like such or tipped open a little bit to keep it from being safe. If you're unsure of the best container to use, just use a glass one like we do at our house, right? We switched a while ago to these nice Pyrex reusable glass. It is a glass investment, but we do like using the glass containers in our home just to keep us safe. So, what's your next question for Mom, Charlotte?
Does food last longer in glass?
What do you think?
I think it does.
You're right, it does. It stays fresher in glass when it has an airtight seal, like this container here. It also preserves the flavor to last longer. So it's better than plastic, metal, or any other material when it's stored in glass. So as you can see here, we put our fruits and vegetables right into these glass containers. So when we get these home from the grocery store, Charlotte, is this what it comes in? No. What do we do when we bring it home after grocery shopping?
I spray it down with the Narc spray.
What is this? So she has our produce wash here, the fresh produce wash. So just like she said, we spritz this on our fruits and veggies when we get them home from the grocery store.
And then you leave it sit for a while and rinse it under water. And for the smaller things like blueberries and raspberries, I put it in the net. And then it doesn't fall out.
That's our netted dishcloth that has so many uses, but that's one of the ones we love using it for.
And then for things like carrots, I use this scrubby.
Yeah, awesome. I actually used that today for your oranges because I know you don't like your oranges to have that white, when you peel off the orange skin, you don't like that white peel on there. I used it today for that and then they came right off. They were nice and shiny clean. So yeah, can you tell that cleaning the produce is one of Charlotte's chores at home since she just rattled off everything she does every week for us? And that helps us keep our produce fresher and longer. Another tip I like to use, do you know what this is called, Charlotte?
It's a countercloth and it's really nice.
These are our countercloths.
In the vegetables and fruits. We don't have it in this one, but I have a bowl with peppers in it and I put it in the bottom of that so it keeps moist and everything else and it helps it stay cleaner and better.
It absorbs all the extra moisture, so we use it in our grapes a lot. We use it, like she said, after we wash our peppers. It just absorbs all the extra moisture, so again, they last longer. It works good for lettuce too. All right, great job explaining that, Charlotte. So can we put this is called Pyrex again. Oh, I forgot a little bit, so I'm going to back up a little bit. So what's one bad thing about putting our fruits inside of a glass container like this?
You always want to eat.
You're right. You want to eat them right away because they look so good and you can see them.
On the plus side, if it's something like fruits and vegetables, that's good for you.
You're right. It is good for you. Absolutely. So other things about plastic versus glass is there's no germs that are leaching out of the plastic. There's no pores in glass like there is in plastic. And lastly, there is no stinky smells, right? So when we open our fridge, we do not smell the food that's sitting in there because it's stored in airtight containers inside of the glass.
But one time I had peppers and it was in a bag in the whole fridge the next day. So like gross moldy peppers.
Yeah, we're getting off track here now, but yes, that's true. Everything tastes like peppers and Mom complained. So another great thing with glass is we can use it over and over again. So like I mentioned earlier, it might be an investment, but it's great that it lasts for so long. It also holds its shape over time so it doesn't melt down. And guess what? This is 100% recyclable. If it ever does break or we decide we just want different or whatever reason, you can recycle it. So Charlotte, can we put a container like this, a Pyrex container, inside of our freezer without ruining it?
Mm-hmm.
We can?
Yeah.
Well, you are right. It can go both in the microwave, it's heat resistant, and it can go in the freezer. Guess how cold it can get in the freezer?
20 degrees.
Not quite, but it's a really good guess. Inside of the freezer, it can get all the way to negative 40 degrees and still be safe for this container. And then, guess how hot it can get when we put it in the microwave. Think about your baking and how hot things get when you bake.
400.
Really close. It can get all the way up to 500 degrees. You're good at guessing this. So, the one thing that we do want to avoid is something called temperature shock. What
the heck is that?
Temperature shock? That would mean if we took this straight from the freezer and put it directly into the oven or the microwave, the glass would be like, "What are you doing to me?" And yeah, so we don't want to do that, right? Guess what though? Did you know you can put your smoothie in the freezer overnight?
You can?
Yeah, you can.
So I can eat it for breakfast in the morning?
Absolutely. I knew you'd be excited about that because you love your smoothies, right? Yeah, guess how long it'll last if we put it in a mason jar with a lid sealed on it. How long it'll last in the freezer?
A week?
Almost. It can last 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, it might start to not taste so much like a smoothie anymore, so that's why we recommend using it within 2 weeks' time. But yeah, the night before school, you can put it in the freezer, and the next day when you take it out, you just add a cup of orange juice or some other liquid to it, and it's ready to go. Is that awesome?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I do want to give a tip here, though. I wouldn't recommend reusing glass from like a pickle jar or a mayonnaise jar. It's
too thin.
It is. The glass is too thin and it would crack in the freezer over time. So make sure you're using a brand name canning jar, mason jar, when putting it into the freezer. All right, Charlotte, I got a fun fact guess for you. So guess how much plastic is recycled in the United States out of 0 to 100?
40?
Oh, I wish. Sadly, it's less than 40. The answer is 25%. It is sad, right? So 75% of the plastic that we use in our country gets thrown away in the garbage.
That's sad.
It is sad. So guess how much, it's a high number, gallons of oil could be saved if every year if we used... Everyone's having a giggle in the house. So, all right, I'm going to back up while you're being distracted here. So guess how much gallons of oil we can save every year? You can't look at the funny kids. Remember, this is sad. Okay.
600,000.
Sadly, it's even more than that. The answer is 1 billion gallons of oil could be saved every year if we only recycled 75% of the plastics. And 44 million cubic yards of landfill space every year could be saved. So, bottom line is to keep your food safe and your family safe, do some research, ditch the plastics in your home, and start using glass whenever possible. Plus, you'll be helping the environment too and saving the turtles and wildlife. Yes, we do sell these Chanel pets in our catalog as well. And the awesome thing is that they are made out of recycled microfiber materials that people have recycled from Norwex.
The only downside is you'll never touch anything so soft.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day. Bye.